All right, we are down to the last dark pattern to talk about in our class on dark patterns for UX design. This is the hook framework. So the hook framework is the most common method that websites use to get you to come back. And it's a design that I classify as a dark pattern because it uses both psychology and physiology, and because it's found on a lot of social networking sites, it's designed to keep you engaged. And really, the physiological component of it has the potential to build addiction level behaviors. All that means that I would classify this as a dark pattern because it's using our psychology and our physiology against us. So this is what the hook framework is, and we'll talk about each of these pieces in turn. But there is a trigger, which is either internal or external, which causes you to perform an action, which gives you a variable reward, which makes you more invested in a particular site or service, and means that you're more likely to respond to a trigger the next time that it comes around. So let's take a look at each one of those pieces. So the trigger can be internal, such as boredom, or maybe thinking, I haven't checked, say, Twitter in a while. There's an external piece, which could be like a notification, an alarm, a pop-up. Maybe I get a little notification on my phone saying, hey, you have 15 new likes or 12 new retweets, or 3 comments. One way or another, there's some push for us, whether it's internally or externally, to go back to a particular product or site. That push requires us to take an action. This is the minimum action that we need to receive the reward, which is sort of the next step in this process. For me, my example of Twitter, that's opening up the Twitter application and checking my notifications to see what's been going on, who's liked what I've had to say, who's retweeted what I've had to say. So again, opening up Twitter and checking my feed is that action. The reward is the why, the sort of what makes everything happen. Again, that's the likes, the content shared with friends, the ability to stay connected with your peers. The thing is, this is where the physiological side of things comes in. Because when we get the reward, when we get the why, that actually releases the feel-good chemicals in us, right? So we like to see that people have liked our posts or liked our comments. We like to see that people have shared what we think is important. We like to see that people are commenting and interacting with us. That actually releases feel-good chemicals within our body, dopamine, etc., that really can build addiction level behavior, because our body recognizes the trigger and the action as bringing around the reward and those chemicals, and eventually we start to go back more and more consistently. That is what has built our investment. Our friends are talking about us. It's a reaction to my content. We are building that investment internally, and knowing that we are going to be more likely to respond to the trigger the next time that we see it. So it is actually a nice hook shaped like a fish hook. So that's it. That's our last dark pattern to talk about. In our next class, we're going to talk about why does it all matter? So why do we care about dark patterns, and what does it matter to us as UX professionals?